I feel bad for the Mercy mains who were told that Mercy was going to be getting a rework that makes her a little more combat effective, and then they just snatched her right away from her. It's like, sorry guys, just kidding. We didn't actually mean to have Mercy be effective in combat at all. For those of you who are late to the party, Mercy got a rework. Her ultimate now basically makes her fly wherever she wants. She can only res one person at a time. And then it did some more damage. Her healing beam spreads. Basic stuff. I think most people already know this. I want to talk more about the implications of what this is going to have on the meta of having played the Mercy like this for enough time, I think. I've got a few dozen hours, actually, just in this Junker Town, so I've played a bit of Mercy, I've noticed some trends, and one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure this is short-lived, but you see a Mercy in every single game. Now, of course, people are just joining the PTR and try out Mercy. I don't think that doesn't go past me. Like, I realize they're on the PTR to try the new Mercy changes, but that being said, I feel like she probably is going to be a pretty significant necessity on most teams after this point. Whereas before, Mercy was like, I think in the same realm as Zen, but more effective at what she did than Zenyatta. As far as ultimates go, her and Zen really had the only anti-team wipe ultimates. And now that sort of shifts her to where Zen is really the only anti-team wipe ult you can have. Lucio, I don't think it really counts. It does sometimes, but other times it doesn't. If you get caught in a gravity well, usually break it down isn't gonna fucking save you, especially if they have any other ults on their own. So it's just interesting that it takes her out of the mix of people that can successfully counteract enemy ult pushes. So, in my opinion, I think it's actually going to make Zenyatta a necessity in almost every game, especially if they have like a Zarya or a Reinhardt, because those two that can stun the entire team. It used to be Mercy and Zen were the only hard counters to that, and now you're missing one of them, so Zen's the only one. But now counteracting ultimates isn't Mercy's job. It's now her job, I think, to upkeep the cart. Like the games are actually they're more interesting. They're more fun in my opinion. They're kind of a shit show with the amount of people that are constantly just always on the cart all the time. I think that's probably more what the game is probably trying for. It wouldn't surprise me to know that Blizzard wanted that on purpose. Like there's just constantly a non-6 against 6 fight on the cart in like every game that I've seen. So having a Mercy on your team basically means constant pressure, whether or not that means attacking or defending. I think it's just extremely powerful than always having to regroup as 6 and playing the Ultimates game. Now you've got a game where you always want to have presence on the cart, which I think keeps more people in the action a lot more consistently. So I do like what it has done with that. And if you thought Mercy had a target on her head before, now, holy shit, like, after she reses, it's not like, well, she used her res, I can, you know, maybe focus on someone else for a second. No, you never know if she's got her res on cooldown or not. After she just uses it, she could always just ult and then use it again, and then 10 seconds after that, she could use it again. So she's just always a hazard for reviving the fuck out of people, which is interesting. No other hero just has an instant full health heal on a fucking 30-second and then during ult 10-second cooldown. So that definitely makes her pretty unique and really powerful. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent here. So personally, I think we're going to see just a large influx of Mercy Zenyatas, and I think that's probably going to be like the most common healer combination we're gonna see after this, because it's got the constant pressure from Mercy and it's got the constant ultimate shutdowning from Zenyatta, and everyone else doesn't really fill a role in this meta that I've at least noticed. At least when you see a Mercy in every game, I've got a really good win rate being Zen as the off healer in those games. I don't know my statistics. It's like high 60% win rate with Zenyatta because there's a Mercy in every single game. And then occasionally other people don't have the Zen. So personally, it just seems to be a really effective combination for me, and I think it's going to carry over into the normal game. Now, that is really just it for the support side of things, but of course, having one change in the meta can have some long-lasting implications in the other areas, so I think it would be beneficial to put your stock in Tracer right now. I think she's actually going to be really strong in the meta because she's really strong against Mercy and against Zenyatta. I mean, she's basically a strong backline character all the time, but really your best choices for a backline flanker for taking out heroes are Genji and Tracer, and right now, unfortunately, Genji is just kind of a shitty pick, with Winston being so strong in the meta, being such a good choice. And I think that that's going to mean that Tracer is just going to have an absolute ton of utility from now on. So I'm going to be playing the fuck out of Tracer in the coming, in the next foreseeable future, because I think after this next patch, she's going to be the most effective anti-healer you have, especially when there's a constant shit show on the cart or on the point. Tracer is going to be extremely beneficial with her recall and her dashing around and getting the health kits and just getting back to the action as fast as possible. And then when she does die, you know, Mercy's there to res her, the Mercy on your team. So I think that's going to be the implications for healing and support. I wouldn't be surprised to see a fall in Zarya, because her gigantic team wipe ult and how slow it charges isn't going to be as effective with how often there's just constantly 3 to 4 people sitting on the cart. So I do think that Zarya is going to be less and less played, and I think D.Va, with her ability to shoot while flying, let's see if that makes it into the real game. I think it probably will. I think she's also just going to be even stronger of a pick than she was before, and she's already a pretty fucking strong pick. I'm not really sure what Blizzard was thinking with that buff. So the last, I think, unfortunate little side effect that I didn't even really consider until all of this is sometimes I like to watch the kill cam, and I skip it often if it's just interesting, or I don't really care how I died, I just want to see the action. But sometimes I want to see how I died or what happened. And unfortunately, with Mercy constantly resurrecting people, you miss like half your kill cams. And especially those times, at least I think I've noticed, when Mercy reses you is when you're alone, is usually when the teammate did something lucky or crazy to kill you. So those are the kill cams that you actually want to watch. You know, you're not just in the middle of a fight, you know how you died, because there's a fucking dozen enemies around you, and you're all getting, you know, bounced off by Junkrat bombs and hit by a Tracer and 76 in the distance. And you're just like, well, whatever, I know how I died there. But like those random little times that you just kind of die on your own to some random bullshit, maybe a Hanzo scatter arrow, you know, did a 1 in a million shot and bounced around the corner. You want to see the kill cam, and the Mercy's like, no, I got you, bro. She comes up and reses you, or it's like, fuck. Well, and now I don't know what happened. So it's kind of like, it's kind of the death of the interesting kill cams, if you ask me. All these Mercy reses that have been going down. So that is my view on the current meta, what the meta is about to be in the near future, the current meta on the PTR, and the characters that are about to be strong and weak. I actually didn't really go over who I thought was going to be weak, but I think Junkrat's also just going to be a strong choice. Nothing to do with these meta changes, but his extra bomb, I've noticed, just fucking hell. Like, he just went live with that yesterday, and it's just so fucking powerful. You see Junkrat in every game. I've got so many golds playing Junkrat now. It's just fucking impossible. And he does make a good counter to Tracer, like I said, because his bomb can basically insta-kill her. Even if she's at full health, a dead-on hit is really all you need. That's not even counting if you hit them with one of your own bombs. And if you fucking miss, you've still got a second bomb to hit her with, so I don't think he's enough of a counter to her to counteract what Tracer's role is going to be in killing the flankers, but I do think we're going to see a lot more Junkrat, a lot more D.Va, a lot more Zenyatta, a lot more Mercy, a lot less Ana and Lucio, probably even a lot less of the characters that kind of suck at dealing with flankers. I think we're actually finally going to see a little less Pharah, or who knows, maybe with Mercy being more common, you'll see a lot more Pharmacy. It's anyone's fucking game. This is just interesting because this patch, it feels like it completely changes the flow of the game. Just Mercy being able to res people really drastically changes the gameplay style of Overwatch in general. So that's something to look out for, and I'll catch you guys next time.